Okay, good morning, Mike's Diabetes World. I'm going to talk today about testing. Testing is fairly simplistic. We do glucose testing. If the blood sugar goes high enough, we do urine testing for ketones. So that's what we're going to discuss. Sorry. Sit back, relax, and we'll be right back. Testing. Ow. Everyone sort of hates testing. But eventually, you get into it, you get used to it. Now, when I was first diagnosed, your daily testing used to be glucose in the urine. And it wasn't such a decisive test. You were either, one person could be 4%, and the other person could be 1%. It depends on the person's renal threshold. So, when blood testing came along, that came out to be a great answer. Now, it came out a little more than I ever thought it could be. I thought blood testing would be 4 times a day, same as the urine testing would be. I never thought, well, you could take the glucometer out. If you were having a low blood sugar, you could use it to find out if you were low. That was kind of stupid now, wasn't it? But there's so much things we can do. You can keep tighter control. So, this is stuff that you should be doing. Now, we've done a video on seasonal changes. We've done a video on I didn't really do one on testing so much, but we did one where we mentioned about testing and making sure that your blood sugars are within normal and how much better that would be. So it's up to you that you test. I've seen people take out their meters when I'm on the SkyTrain. Who cares what other people say? It's done here. There we go. So, personally, I do it for at least 4 times a day, sometimes 8. It's important that we take care of our body. It's better that if you are normal, have a normal blood sugar, because if you constantly run high, you're going to run into problems. Now, I don't know what the thought is if you run a low blood sugar. The better if you could run normal. And I don't know about with me, if, they've kind of given up that I'm never going to have a normal blood sugar. I guess I get it a couple of times a day. Where my blood sugar will spike and then it'll drop. So there's at least two times in a day where my blood sugar is normal. But, I just thought about this testing. It's my mother's going for a procedure which she can't eat for 24 hours beforehand. Now, got a leak there. How do you handle it? I'm going to be going for the same procedure. My time isn't scheduled yet. And I just wonder, have you been put into the hospital? Because this is like 32 hours of not eating. And I am so unstable anyway that my blood sugars can tank, they can go super high. We just don't know what's going to happen. And if I go super high, it would be nice that someone would be able to be there and I could go on a sliding scale. Now, if I go low all the time, someone that can inject sugar in there to help me even out. It's all very interesting, very intricate. But that's what you deal with when you have brittle diabetes. Now, like I've said, no one dies from diabetes. It's the complications that diabetes adds to. So today my mom's going for tests. She's going for a test that I'm going to have to take very shortly. And that is a colonoscopy. Well, should be fun, should be exciting. Now, I just really have to wonder how the hell diabetics get ready for this. Now, of course, most diabetics aren't as brittle as I am. So, I know my doctor said, well, we may have to put you in the hospital. But, I don't know. Mom put up with a lot yesterday, and Mom's memory is gone. Now, Laurel's just coming to pick her up and taking her there. Nico and I have to go on the SkyTrain, but she wants us there for the procedure. Fine, we'll go. But when it comes to my time, what I've seen that she has to go through, I don't know if, I'll be able to do it. Now, physically, of course, I'll be able to do it. Nico, busy? But, I'm talking about the caloric intake. So, how do they do it? This is a procedure I've never really had to go through. I've never had to not eat for a whole day, and then whatever time they schedule. Mom got scheduled at noon because she didn't want to be awake that early. But, it really makes me wonder what's going to happen when it comes to me. Any other diabetics out there have had this test? I'm sure they are. Type 1s? People call type 1 the juvenile or, only young people's diabetes. But it's important to remember that diabetics grow up. We all can't stay kids for the rest of our lives. There's broadcasters, there was actors who had type 1 diabetes. The most famous was Mary Tyler Moore. And for years she took insulin, and she was a great spokesman for, I think it was a Juvenile Diabetes Foundation. But, so people think when they say diabetic that we're all type 2. And that just isn't the case. So there must be some procedure. It's more than, I would assume, taking the solution and, the amount of apple juice I'd probably have to drink, and then the amount of insulin I'd have to take, and testing seems to be a major, like, how much do we have to take, and when, and I know we can have Gatorade and apple juice and Jell-O, but really, you need the fat to carry the sugar, and if it's going in your arm, that's a different thing. And at least, if your blood sugars are dropping, they can turn that up, or they can make you go high, but that's just gonna cause more problems. And it's not a very good thing for your body to. Anyway, I'll talk with you later. Oh yeah, sorry, glasses down. God, I look better with glasses. Well, maybe it's just I'm used to them. But we're definitely doing tests in New Westminster from now on. Going out and traveling all this way for Mom's test. At least I was able to eat, for the last couple of days. I've been hiding, but not hiding, but just eating my room, out of Mom's sight. But here comes our train. So
the next train to depart is for Richmond Greathouse.
I'll be right back. Well, I'm not fasting, but I'm having a little sugar. I don't know if you can hear me over this, but
This train is for Richmond Brickhouse.
Just to make sure I don't drop in the hospital. You know, we all hear stories of husbands dropping in the emergency room or the labor room, so making sure my blood sugar's up, but that doesn't mean anything. So yeah, write down if you've ever had to
The next
fast
station is Vancouver City Centre.
for a test, and what sort of things do you do to prepare? The one that both Mom and I are gonna do is where they give you stuff to empty out and cleanse you out. So it'll all work, and we'll see. Okay, so we're out of the train. Yay. But we're heading along the drive now, and Westminster Highway, and Mom did not like the prep for the test. And that's the whole idea. Why she didn't like it, but it was the whole idea. I kept telling her. But I know it will be the same for me. And you know, one thing that really kind of gets to me is the test procedure is covered by medical, but the prep isn't. So if you're someone on disability like myself, that's just another chunk they seem to take away. So that's, in theory, that could be another meal taken away from you. And you know, a lot of people have insurance, and a lot of times they will get covered. But even the pharmacy said a lot of insurance companies don't cover it now. So, you know, you can't win either way. But I'm not looking forward to this test, and I have no idea when mine is going to be.
Westminster, Carlton, Invermere.
So, you know, it's just going to be one day out of the blue. And you know, this week is full of things like this. I have today doing this, tomorrow, and Wednesday I have off. Thursday I have to go to court, and that's going to be a fun and exciting day in itself. So all these things can add into the stress. So while, you know, today's Mom's test is, you know, the stress of getting there, making sure she's okay, and the family dynamics setting in here. But we should all be good. I slept, but I woke up worrying about getting Mom ready and getting her to drink the stuff. Litnico, careful. Here we go, and we're going down. Oh, these sidewalks are terrible out here. I guess the roots over the years have gone under and lifted it up, so if you're in a chair like me, it's not easy. So, yeah, I think there's a small place coming up here where I have to be careful. I'll be back. Hi there. Well, tests are all over. Mom's back at home. She seemed to remember the procedure, but then she doesn't. So I'm kind of hoping if and when I have to do it, I won't remember much of it either. But we'll see. I'm still, and I guess they're kind of discussing what's going to take place with me and how it's all going to work out. No, I pretty well said this all yesterday, so. But I don't really want to call. I don't want to force the issue. But when it comes my time, I guess I'll have to go. But, not eating or liquid fed before a test. Well, you can have apple juice. Well, I guess I can have Sprite too, but it's the night that really has me concerned. And so we'll have to wait and see. But, testing and diabetes says, hey, you can't do things like everyone else. You have to be special. And a lot of times excuse me. I don't know, all of a sudden just had to yawn. But, I still think we all need to be individuals. And just because you're a diabetic, you can't do this, or you have to do it this way if you're diabetic. It really kind of gets me a little upset. Yeah, I can't see. So, I kind of have to think about that. And, we'll talk back in a bit. Have a good day. Talk to you later. Bye now.